Yes, and she will pay for that. But you needed to know. The true cruelty was Martin's. He told her to be hard on you so you'd run away. He wanted you gone.
I woke up with my heart racing. The next day, I tested it. I aimed my hunger at only Martin. Clarice looked fine, but Martin groaned and clutched his stomach. It was him all along. Clarice was cruel, yes, but he was the architect. With my powers, I planted a series of traps. He forgot an important work meeting, got fired. He tripped and broke his ankle while rushing to yell at me. I made him feel the burn of boiling water just by touching my tea. My name is Daniel. I grew up knowing only my mom's love. My dad? He left when I was 3, without a backward glance. Mom never spoke badly about him, but I could see the pain in her eyes whenever his name came up. Mom was the hardest working person I knew. She worked 2 jobs, a cashier during the day and a cleaner at night. She'd come home smelling faintly of bleach, her hands cracked from scrubbing floors, but she'd still have the energy to help me with homework and make my favorite dinner when she could. Aunt Clarice was different. When I was younger, she was always smiling, slipping me candy during family gatherings, whispering, "Don't tell your mom," like it was our little secret. She'd compliment my drawings, ruffle my hair, and promise to take me to the zoo one day. I thought she was the coolest aunt ever. But that was before Mom died. It was a cold, gray morning, the day of her funeral. I stood by the casket, my hands clenched into fists, wishing I could trade places with her. My heart felt hollow. After the service, Clarice put on her warmest smile.
Don't worry, Danny. You'll stay with us now. We'll take good care of you.
Her husband, Uncle Martin, nodded stiffly. Yeah, we'll manage. Thank you.
And your mom? She left something for you. We'll keep it safe.
I later found out she was talking about the money Mom had saved for my future. College funds, emergency cash. Clarice didn't keep it safe. Within weeks, it was gone. Spent on her endless shopping sprees, new handbags, salon trips, and luxury perfumes. My future was hanging in her closet. The abuse didn't take long to start. One rainy day, I walked home from school with no umbrella. My jacket was soaked, my teeth chattering. When I got inside, water dripped from my sleeves onto the tile.
You're making the floor dirty.
I'm cold.
Then mop it up, now, and do it properly.
I stood there shivering as I mopped every drop off the floor while she sipped tea in the living room. Clarice and Martin's cruelty became routine. If I dropped a fork, I'd get yelled at. If I was late from school, I'd go hungry. They didn't just starve me. They seemed to enjoy it. One afternoon, I came home late because I had stayed after school to take an important exam. Clarice was waiting at the door.
You think you can stroll in whenever you like?
I had an exam?
Don't care, sleep outside.
And she locked the door. I curled up on the porch that night, but strangely, I didn't feel the cold. The next morning, when I walked in, both Clarice and Martin were wrapped in blankets, shivering like they'd been out in the snow. By the time my 13th birthday came, I had stopped expecting presents or cake. That day, Clarice didn't even acknowledge it. I went to bed with tears in my eyes, then slipped out to the cemetery. I knelt by Mom's grave, running my fingers over the cold stone. Mom, I can't take it anymore. Please, please help me. Give me a birthday gift. Make it stop. I just want to be free from them. I stayed there until the wind chilled my bones, then went home and fell asleep. That night, she came to me.
My boy, you've suffered long enough.
Mom, please. I can't. I'm so tired.
From now on, the pain they give you will be theirs. The cold, the hunger, all of it will touch them first. You will also see the future so you can set your path. Use it well.
The very next day, while I was dusting the shelves, Clarice stormed into the room.
You're too slow, always dragging your feet.
Before I could react, she swung her hand across my face, but the instant her palm connected, she yelped in pain, clutching her own hand instead of looking satisfied. I froze, confused, as she scowled and walked away in annoyance without saying another word. A few days later, she skipped my dinner again. I sat at the table, my stomach suddenly feeling full, and I watched as she and Martin clutched their stomachs, groaning.
Why do I feel like I haven't eaten in days?
I just smiled. 1 week later, I saw a flash in my head. Clarice rushing down the hall with laundry, tripping over a box. In real life, the box was out of the way, but I moved it back and added a stool in the perfect spot. Guess what? She hit her body so badly when she fell, everything happened as I had seen.
Ah, my hip!
Oh no, guess you should watch where you're going. A few days later, Martin tried to shove me toward the stove again. His hand touched the pan, and he screamed, jerking back. What the hell? How am I burned instead of you? Are you a witch? Guess I'm just lucky. And I walked away, grinning. I began to use my powers deliberately. One day, I foresaw the answers to a big exam before even stepping into the hall. I aced it, and my high score landed me a well-paying part-time job while still in school. The better I got at controlling my gift, the more I used it against them. If they tried to hurt me, they got hurt. If they tried to freeze me, they froze instead. Through my new power, I saw Martin planning to take Clarice out for their anniversary. I decided, no. The morning of, I focused hard on his mind. By lunch, he'd completely forgotten. She screamed at him for hours. Over the next year, I turned their lives into a slow, miserable spiral. If they hit me, they'd clutch the same spot in pain. If I was cold, they'd shiver uncontrollably, no matter how high the heat. When they tried to humiliate me, they'd stutter, forget words, or even say the wrong names in front of their friends. It was working so well, until I saw a vision I wasn't ready for. In it, my mother stood beside Clarice, and she was smiling. That night, she came to me in another dream. Mom, why are you with her?
Because, my boy, she is not your enemy.
I froze.
Your uncle wanted to send you to a foster home. Clarice kept you here, not because she loves you, but because she promised me before I died that you wouldn't be lost in the system.
But she hurt me.
Yes, and she will pay for that. But you needed to know, the true cruelty was Martin's. He told her to be hard on you so you'd run away. He wanted you gone.
I woke up with my heart racing. The next day, I tested it. I aimed my hunger at only Martin. Clarice looked fine, but Martin groaned and clutched his stomach. It was him all along. Clarice was cruel, yes, but he was the architect. With my powers, I planted a series of traps. He forgot an important work meeting, got fired. He tripped and broke his ankle while rushing to yell at me. I made him feel the burn of boiling water just by touching my tea. The last straw came when I foresaw him trying to hit me with his cane. I focused, and he stumbled backward, hitting his head on the edge of the table. Not fatal, but humiliating enough for Clarice to scream at him in front of neighbors. I'm 17. I still live with Clarice, but she's different now. Not nice, but quieter. She doesn't hit me anymore. She leaves me food, sometimes even my favorite kind. Martin? He lives in a dingy apartment alone. I had made Clarice kick him out for cheating using my powers. He can't keep a job. Every now and then, I check in with him, just to remind him that pain has a long memory. And me? I dream of my mom often.
Use it well, my boy, and don't forget to live.
So yeah, that's my story. My evil aunt turned out to be the lesser evil. My uncle got what he deserved, and I've got powers I'll probably never give up. Now, if you like this story, well, remember, if you don't subscribe and like this video, I might just make you trip over a stool tomorrow.